Hey, what's up everybody? Jason here from PMP, and in this video we're going to check out some vehicle options for camp cooking off the grid. So let's run that intro and get right into it. So our main source of power for this video is the Anker Solix S2000 that I recently got. And that's going to power all of our devices. Probably not all at once, but the way we are going to cook things, we won't need them all to be on at the same time. We also have our Jackery Explorer 300 for smaller scale stuff like charging phones and things like that. But with both of these units combined, we'll be able to charge whatever we need to and run whatever equipment we have. So here's a brief overview of everything else. I have a small fold-out table here, a collapsible sink for hand and dishwashing. Inside here I have pots and pans, water filtration and utensils. Of course I have a small air fryer here, an induction cooker here, induction stovetop. This is to be used with stainless steel cooking ware. Back here I have an Instant Pot, which is a pressure cooker. Of course I have the solar panels for the Anker. Now note, I wouldn't store these like this. I'd put them in my back seat wrapped up in a blanket. Here I have a cooler with food, some paper plates, seasonings, things like that. A couple water bottles and some charging cables here. There's a brief overview of everything, but we'll take a better look at it all, one at a time. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our little folding table, and this is because we don't want to get any grease or food residue inside of our vehicle, so we'll be doing all the cooking on this table. The next thing I would do is, depending on what cooking device I'll be using, is get them set up on the table. For example, if I wanted to make some french fries or something, I'd use my air fryer. If I want to make some rice or something like that, I'd use my Instant Pot. And if I want to cook some meat or something like that, I would use this induction burner. I use this for melting candle wax to make candles, so it is a little dirty, but that's okay. Here is the collapsible sink, which, like I said earlier, you can use to wash your hands and to keep your dishes clean. Which we have a couple other items stashed away in other places that go along with this. And here would be my water filtering system here. It's the Sawyer gravity fed. It's a bag you fill with water, and then you attach this to this part right here, and the gravity forces the water out, and you have clean, fresh drinking water and clean water to wash your hands and dishes with. And then the rest of the items I keep in this container are some tongs, a spatula. This is a Pathfinder skillet here. It's got a heavy base on the bottom of it. And a Stanley prep and cook set. I took the bowls out of it. I would just use this. And some aluminum foil. This is good for a lot of things, but mainly like if you cook some french fries and then you don't want them to get cold, wrap them in foil, help keep them warm while you cook your other items. I also have a spoon that fell to the side there, and a nice little container to put water in. And if you don't want to use the filter, just bring you along some bottles of water and you'll be fine. I forgot to show it, but inside of the pan I did have a fork and a folding fillet knife. And I already put it back up. I don't want to get it back out just yet. But next we'll take a look at the lunchbox. In the top here I have some containers for leftovers. These will fit nicely in the cooler, as well as some paper plates in a bag to keep them clean. And a towel up here. You always need a towel. Very handy to have. And then in this front compartment I have some dish soap with a blue lid, so I know it's soap. The soap is blue, the lid's blue. In here I have some peanut oil. In here I also have a special seasoning I've been working on. Maybe we'll learn about that more in the future. And just a mix of salt, pepper, and garlic. and I keep that all in the front pouch here. Then over here in this side pocket, I have a battery powered digital thermometer. So if I'm cooking a steak, I can measure it exactly to the temperature that I want to cook it to, so it's not overcooked or undercooked. So I always use those. You know, I don't want to ruin my meal, so having an instant read digital thermometer, even cooking at home, is a smart idea. And most importantly, inside of the cooler part is the meats or anything else you want to keep cold. I just have steak and bacon in here for an example. Lots of ice packs in there. Ideally, honestly, I'd like to have one of those battery powered or electric coolers to put in here that I could use my Anker to charge it, to keep it charged. That would be ideal, but I don't have one as of yet, but maybe I will in the future. Let me know if you want to see me get one of those. Alright, so there is my setup that I'm going to be using in the next video to cook up a meal. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss that. But go ahead and let me know what you think about this setup, and on the next video we'll see how it performs. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my new content. See you later.